First of all, the two companies are very different, but I can get into more detail on that later. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be faced with great challenges, to have great teams around you to move businesses forward. Challenging, stressful, but a lot of fun. I think even broader than, the answer is yes, and I think even broader than the tech industry. I would be a little bit more relieved if women only face challenges in the tech industry. Women are still underpaid on average to a man, 70 cents, maybe we've gotten up to 75 cents for every dollar a man is paid. Women are still underutilized, clearly undervalued financially, but also in intellectual power and capacity. They're vastly underrepresented. So women have made a lot of progress in the last 50, 75, 100 years, but we still have so far to go. The nature of the gap is more than just structural. It's now deep in the minds of both women and men that there is a proper place for us to be, and what that proper place is lesser than men. We just have to get over this. If you think about the population in the world, if you think about education rate, educational attainment rates, longevity, we are outpacing more women than men in the world today, and increasing number, and we still actually undervalue and underutilize this valuable resource. So I started and we had a gap, and I'm close to the end. We still have a gap. Making some progress, but too slowly. I mean, the business moves so fast. Technology moves so fast. Regulation moves sometimes too fast and other times too slow. Needs and preferences of clients move very quickly. The biggest challenge, which I think creates an opportunity for a company like VEON, is the pace of change. The expectation that you have to meet the needs of this varying set of constituents kind of just in time right now. And companies who are flexible, companies who are brave, who are willing to take risks, who are companies who do business the right way, who are foundationed in ethics and compliance, so they have a kind of a way to operate, they will be successful. And the biggest challenge is if you think that what you did yesterday is going to dictate and predict your success for the future, you're almost surely going to fail. So. Significantly more partnership between business and government. One of the things that I think that we found out in America, most of the economies around the world, is that a little bit of connection, a little bit more discussion, understanding, agreement about what the steps to make a better future for the economy, for the country, etc., is worthwhile. And governments still spend quite a bit of time trying to regulate around businesses, or businesses go and then we have regulations around them. I think that's not the model for the future. We have to have a little bit more understanding about the possibilities, the risks, the goals for the economies, but also the goals for the companies. And if we can actually have a little bit more partnership, that would be better. In the developing economies, oftentimes that came with assumptions that there would be corruption in the system, or that there would be bad dealings in the system. I think that a little bit more trust and a little bit more partnership would do a lot for businesses, for skipping generations of things, for not going through the same mistakes that's happened in the past in business. I mean, there's a broad set of issues, right? In a nation of the size of Pakistan and in the stage of the development of Pakistan, a lot of issues. So some of digitization will have nothing to do with some of these issues. But I think a large number of them are in healthcare, for sure, education, for sure, financial security and literacy, on even ethics and compliance, all will be served well with digitization of the economy, all of those things. So I think protecting yourself against this, if you know what I mean. We're going to have regulations that it's not going to serve Pakistan well. It doesn't serve any economy well. It literally is to try to make sure that we have as much transparency, as much coordination, and joining together as much teaming as possible around what should be an amazing opportunity for a country, right? So an amazing opportunity for a country where participation, broad participation, is still not commonplace. You can actually make strides, skip years, skip generations of problems and growth if you focus on the technical competencies that are available today. Digitization of the market is an amazing set. Education, as I said, healthcare, just any kind of commerce, compliance, everything you can think of. You can eliminate a whole bunch of mistakes, a whole bunch of errors, a whole bunch of wasted time, wasted money. You can move up educational attainment. Yesterday morning I was speaking to the Minister of Education about this. You can move up educational attainment for people I think the 23 million children on the day that I was speaking, or 23 million children in general on any day that are not in school. Okay, so we can keep saying, well, let's build schools and get teachers trained. You can also equip them with digital devices. You can equip them with digital devices and a few trained people spread around strategically, and literally increase their competency just to read, to do math a little bit better, to participate in the economy broader if you use digital. We can think about a significant amount of unbanked or underbanked citizens. How do you increase their ability to do commerce, to actually not have to carry around cash, to not participate in society fully, by actually giving them the ability to have this device that a lot of them are getting more and more, smartphones and digital wallets, and a sound, solid, trusted infrastructure underneath. And by the way, our company, Jazz, here in Pakistan, is a company that can help with that. These are the kind of things that you have to take advantage of. And if you don't take advantage of them, you systematically leave large numbers of the population, you keep them behind and they don't participate to the fullest. So. One of the things that I heard from a very good friend of mine, a woman who I admire a lot, and I've picked it up as my motto when I speak to women, one of my mottos when I speak to women now. She said in a group that women should start before they're ready. So what do I mean by that? If you ask a woman today, do you want to do this job? A lot of women will say, well, I'm not ready. I haven't quite gotten these skills. Maybe I should do this job before that job. They step back a little bit. Ask a lot of men, do you want to do this job? They say, yes, I know everything that I need to know. I can do this job and more, right? And I'm not talking about the differences between men and women here, but one of the things I want to emphasize is that we are generally more ready than we think we are. And even if we are not fully ready, we're so close that we can run through, we can catch up to speed really quickly and run through the start. So first, to start before we're ready. Be ready. You do that by having confidence in your ability. Literally, how do you get confidence? You stay connected to the world. Make sure that you learn from others, you listen pretty acutely and keenly, read, broaden yourself. So add to your ability to be a value producer in the world. And the third is, do not stop being a woman. A large amount of what we have been told when I was growing up, and I know that what's happening around the world, is that women have to be a little bit more like men. Right? Men have a model for succeeding, it all looks pretty good, and we should actually start to act like them, be as aggressive, as non-team based, as non-empathetic, we're too emotional, we're too whatever. That's all not appropriate. Women are women because we're women. That's who we are. And to fit in doesn't mean that we have to change or become like somebody, right? Women should they should bring their entire self, everything about them, to work. The system has to change to fit us in more, because if we fit in more, we'll be able to bring more value to the organization. So start before you're ready, literally. Make sure that you have confidence. You're probably well better than you think, definitely more capable than you probably assess yourself, because we're the hardest judge on ourselves. And then the third is, don't trade it all in. Don't walk in and say, I'm going to become just like you. Because then I say we should just hire all the men. I mean, what's the point? So we have to change the mix a little bit.